Hi, this is Paul. About a month ago, I decided to get my first ham radio, and I started the process by researching what is out there. And what I found was that the market could be broken down into different segments of mobility, from handheld to fixed base stations and everything in between. Then these segments could be further broken down by cost, quality, and features. As a newbie buying my first ham radio, I decided to get a fixed base station made by one of the leading manufacturers. It then came down to price and features. I originally targeted the $500 price range. However, as I did my research, that of course crept up. Not really knowing what I was doing and what I needed, the safe choice became obvious. The Icom 7300. It's been out there on the market since 2015, and it is the best-selling radio today. And I couldn't find a bad review on it anywhere I looked. The radio also has a long list of features that I can grow into. As an added benefit, because it's so popular, there's an extensive library of YouTube videos explaining how to use it and set it up. And I've used those videos a lot. On the downside, the price I paid was just over $900, which is probably pretty cheap for a radio with these features. However, it was more than I wanted to pay. So far, I've been very happy with it, and it stood up to all my beginner mistakes without blowing up. Most radios come without a power supply. Because I had overspent on the radio, I was looking for a relatively economical choice, which meant a switching power supply. I heavily relied on the reviews and forums like eHam. I find them more honest than the infomercials you get on YouTube. There are a lot of power supplies out there that are capable of doing the job. So the differentiating feature for me was how it acted when it failed. As we know, all electronics can and will eventually fail. But what you don't want is when it does, you don't want it to take out your radio. In other words, a $150 power supply blowing up a $1,000 radio. You would be surprised at how many reviews there are out there of power supplies doing just that. I decided to get the Ashton 25 amp, and I've been happy with it. I couldn't find a single review of it breaking and taking out the radio. The antenna, well, that's a different story. It's a difficult decision to make, and my initial goal was just to get something so I could get on the air. It seems like a lot of the reviews are very subjective on antennas, and a lot of them are quite honestly just infomercials. Unfortunately, I chose poorly and got the Wolf River Silver Bullet. There are a number of YouTube videos talking about how great this thing is, but in my opinion, it's a piece of junk. First, it is a coil wound around a piece of PVC that has had grooves cut in it. On mine, it looks like they ran out of wire and they then soldered an additional piece onto it, and while doing it, deformed the PVC right where you tune for 20 meters. So it's almost impossible to get 20 meters to tune in. You can see the antenna leaning to one side due to the deformation. Second, if the coil gets any moisture on it, the SWR will dramatically change. So if you leave it out overnight and dew gets on it, you can't use it until it dries out. And then there's rain and snow, which will dramatically detune it. Third, the adjustment piece is poorly designed and unstable. To keep it aligned, I have to wedge a small piece of PVC in one side. This could have easily been corrected by using 2 tensioning screws instead of 1. I guess a second 35-cent screw would have eaten into their margins too much. Also, any significant vibration or movement in the adjustment piece will cause your SWR to change. I can't believe they actually advertise that you can use it on a car. There is no way in hell that it'll work in that environment. And finally, the manufacturer doesn't respond to emails. So my challenge now is to find a new antenna that'll work in a very small backyard with HOA restrictions. So far, it's been a fun and challenging journey, and I'm really enjoying the technical aspect. I have a lot to learn, and will be making videos documenting my journey. Thanks for watching.